Reflections with Val. You guys already know who it is in the building. It's me, Sophie underscore Val. And I have a new guest on my show. As every single week, we always like to showcase a new artist. And this one, I'm so excited to share who he is. Who he is. He's worked with important people, amazing people. But we're not even going to touch names yet. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So go right ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, this is songwriter and producer artist Nick Nittoli. And I'm happy to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Now, originally you're from Jersey, but you are in LA. Let's talk about it. When did you decide to leave the skirts of Jersey?
So my mom was an actress in New Jersey, which is not the best place to be an actress. So she kind of packed us up in a station wagon and drove us from New Jersey to Burbank, California. And I grew up here ever since like second grade. I always go back home and like visit for summers, my family, but now I'm basically an LA cat, but I have Jersey roots.
Wow, that's crazy. So your mom drove from Jersey to Burbank with you guys.
Cross country.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
And she was an actress.
Yeah.
Now, what did your father do?
My father is actually a drummer. He like drums with some people like Bruce Hornsby and a band called Spyro Gyro and stuff. But he actually wasn't in my life. I met him when I was 16 years old, and we didn't have much of a relationship after that. So he's kind of out of the picture.
Okay, so pretty much it was just you and your mom and your brother?
Yeah, I have a brother and a sister.
Okay, so three of you guys. That's the same thing with me, but my mom wasn't in the arts.
Okay.
Like, her mother wasn't as supportive of her talent, so she just never really inspired it. I think it's very inspiring that your mom did that, even after having you guys, honestly.
Yeah, and my grandparents are also songwriters. They wrote a song for Frank Sinatra, so I have like the music and acting blood in my genes. So, and everybody's really supportive of it.
Right. Let's talk about the very first time you had that impact and touch with music, though. So it was around, but when did you personally chose? Do you remember that moment and what age you were?
I mean, I was like really young when I was first attracted to music. My mom would put on this VHS tape of Michael Jackson. It's a movie that he did called Moonwalker, which is kind of like him dancing around to his songs for like 90 minutes. And I was just captivated with it. I loved all the steps and his voice. And so I would cry the moment the tape would stop, and they just have to like rewind it and keep playing it for me. And so my first words were "Annie, are you okay?" lyrics from a Michael Jackson song. And I kind of knew at a very young age that I wanted to be in the entertainment business in one way or another.
That was, and then you don't remember how old you were when you were watching those three?
I honestly think I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, when it touches you that early, it's not. It's not a game. It's not for a limelight or for the image. It's because you love it. You have it in your veins. Honestly.
Yeah.
So then, did you ever go to a performing arts high school? Did they ever like nourish that, or your family already had that enough that they were like, oh, we could just train them ourselves?
Yeah, that was like the big mistake, was putting me in public school, because I was literally kicked out of every single school that I went to. I actually got suspended for coming to school with a Michael Jackson glove and touching my crotch and doing the dance moves of Michael Jackson for all the ladies. So like there were like a lot of instances where you were like, all right, let's pull this kid out and put him in private school. But I mean, I'm 33 years old. In my day, like there really weren't that many kids that were going to private school and stuff like that. That was like for the rich kids. So for me, I had to keep kind of going to middle school and grammar school and stuff and just testing it out and seeing how it worked. And it never worked out.
So then what did you do? Like, did you end up like being expelled, or you just transferred to each school?
Yeah, we had to move a lot. We had to move a lot. I got expelled from a lot of the districts and stuff like that. I would get into fights. Like school was just not for me. And then eventually 10th grade, I just dropped out and got my GED. And after that, it was like, I'm just going for this music shit.
That's actually, wow. So you graduated with your GED.
Yep.
And in college, not even in college, I mean, just in general, in any kind of schooling, like what was going on that you just was like, school's not for me? Like,
Yeah, it was just like they were not exercising the part of my brain that works the best. So in school, you're working a lot off like left brain memorization of facts and science and math and stuff like that that I really wasn't good at. But I could write a song about the class and every person inside the class and be very creative and paint you a picture and do something with the right portion of my brain. But they weren't really flexing that and they weren't really allowing that to grow. So for me, it was hell. I really felt like it was like slavery and I just did not want to be in school ever. Like it was my nightmare.
but you don't ever feel like what you went through in your home ever had come in the way of your schooling. It was just your decision.
Yeah, I mean, like they tried everything. They were like, does he have ADHD? Is he eating too much sugar? Is it because his dad's not around? And I was just sitting back like, nah, nigga, I just hate school. I just don't want to come here. Like the moment that I got there, I was just like, this isn't for me. I wanted to be home and doing something creative. And it was the structure of it, just having to be in line and in structure and in the class till a certain time. And, even the smell of the desks would just like depress me. I just hated it.
Yeah, you know what? School wasn't school. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Math and English. I just dreaded because I hate writing papers. Like, why do we have to write more than 5 pages of a paper? Like, are you gonna sit down there and actually read each, thesis?
Right.
Like, I really want to know because, I mean, now as I get older, I'm like, I now understand because you have to write reports. Now, being a podcaster, you have to write questionnaires sometimes. You have to write bios. So yeah, cool, kudos, yeah. But calculus and all of these other mathematical things like statistics and all that we have to eventually take, I just don't. I get you. I don't understand. If even in college when I majored in music theory, we still had to take math. Why do we have to take calculus as a music theory major? Like, it just isn't a line here. Like,
yeah, for me, like I kind of saw the future before. I was like seeing way into the future that my teachers and my parents really couldn't see. I was like, I am not going to use algebra in my life. I promise you that I am not going to use this shit in my daily life. And I hate to say it, but like I was right. You know what I mean? Like I've had a very successful music career without having any of those skills. Like the only time I really write is songs on my set list or, when I'm typing out lyrics. Like, obviously learning the English language and having some hold of it and grasp of it really helped me be a lyricist. But at the end of the day, man, I could have learned how to talk like that on the streets. Like I didn't need no school teacher trying to teach me nothing.
Right. But I know that music touched you with Michael Jackson, but let's talk about when you started like going into influences and people that actually influenced you, like you chose it, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about those artists. What made you branch into other genres, right?
Yeah, so like I grew up in a white family. So for me, I was like the only chocolate spot in the family tree. Right. So for me, I grew up around a lot of white music. My brother was like listening to hard rock and like Limp Bizkit and Korn and Stone Temple Pilots, and my stepdad was white and he would turn on K-rock and stuff. So for me, I grew up around a lot of different influences. And obviously I have, hip hop roots and hip hop in my genes as well. So for me, I just kind of like to merge everything together, that all this music that I've collected. Blink-182 was like a huge inspiration to me. I loved how they were I loved how they were just jumping on stage naked and just being wild and making fart jokes and stuff.
I didn't even know that they did that, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wow. So like I was inspired by all of these different artists, and for my artist project, I was like, how do I kind of combine all of this music that I've listened to and loved into my own artist project? The other part of that is I'm a songwriter and a producer for artists in every genre. I've done it in EDM and hip hop and R&B and pop. And so for me, my artist project is like an amalgamation of my songwriting and production career for other people.
Okay, so you did a lot of production slots and jobs for certain people before you even...
Yeah.
So who were those people, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I've worked with like Snoop Dogg, French Montana, YG, an artist named Neon Hitch, Fabian Mazur, Zendaya before she like really blew up. Like
Yeah.
I've worked with a ton of different artists as a songwriter. That's how I was paying my bills. And then in 2017, when I got signed to Warner, they signed me as a producer, artist, and songwriter. So I was like, this is my shot, you know, to kind of do my artist project. And then in 2019, I dropped my artist thing. But at the end of the day, like I've spent 10 years in the game as a songwriter and producer for other artists. So when you hear my artist project, it's just a combination of all that music.
That's a beautiful opportunity. But before you even got that opportunity in the door, what did you do to get there? Like,
yeah, I mean, in 2011, I was cast on Bravo TV's Platinum Hit, which is like a reality TV show for songwriters. It's kind of like an American Idol for songwriters. We did like a competition. I placed fourth in that competition. I got some TV time. I got some FaceTime. And I kind of took that opportunity and used it to get into the door with some of these songwriters and other producers. And I started as a songwriter, learned how to produce off YouTube. And then next thing you know, I'm producing for like Snoop, I'm producing for YG and all these other huge artists, which just kind of helped build up my catalog. And when I originally approached Warner, they were like, you need to have a hit song that we can kind of, you know, piggyback off of right now. So I worked to kind of get my deal, and then eventually had this hit song called Don't Talk About It with Fabian Mazur featuring Neon Hitch. And I was the co-writer, co-producer on that song. And I used that to kind of get into the door with Warner. So it's all just been like hard work and just perseverance.
How old were you when you got into the door with Warner?
I was 20. It was 2017, so I was 29.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect timing. Yeah. And you were already moved in Cali. You weren't even in Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh dang! So when did you leave Jersey? Like you were like, okay, this is not for me.
I remember second grade. I was in California, so I think somewhere around first and second grade we moved out here. I think you're like 7 or 8 around that time. Right. I've been out here for a minute.
But then you came back, no?
Yeah, and then I came back to Jersey for a little bit. And I basically spent like a year back there. But because I have seasonal affectional disorder, which is like when the clouds roll out, you start to get sad. I could not stay in New Jersey. I was like, this is just not the place for me. I got to be in California. And so I moved back out here. And that was kind of like a big statement for me going after my dream, because I could have stayed in New Jersey, like all my family's out there. It would have been a lot easier for me to stay out there. But I was like, nah, man, I'm just going to go and fucking do it out here in Cali. And, you know, I'll create my own, you know, Rolodex of people and stuff, which I did.
Let's talk about that first year in Cali. Like, did you have any recollection of people you already knew here? Did you have friends? Did you have a nice little transition?
Yeah, I mean, like, I had some friends and stuff, but a lot of my friends kind of got split up because I kept getting kicked out of all the schools. So, like, you know, I'm one of those cats in California where I know everybody from every city because I went to every school in their city for like 1 year. But yeah, I mean, like, I've got some lifelong friends out here, but for the most part, man, it's like, you know, I moved around so much that it was hard for me to keep these relationships with people.
Right. Now, when you were going through any pivotal moments in your life, transitional hardcore periods, right? Did you have any songs or of any genre, any artist that helped you get out of that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd say almost every song by Tupac Shakur, like, really helped me in dark times because his music is just infectious and inspirational. Eminem was also a huge inspiration. Like, I remember when Lose Yourself came out, I think I was in like, it's probably like 6th or 7th grade. And I was like, man, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to inspire people and perform at the Grammys and shit. Like, for me, like, that was like a huge inspiration. And yeah, I mean, there's a ton of songs. I can't even go down the list of them all.
Right. He's like, but they definitely helped me.
Big time.
What song did you write that was your first song? Like, do you remember the first song that you've written?
Yeah, so this is kind of funny. My brother he got an assignment from school that was to write a song, and he's like very left-brained. Like he's a writer. Like he writes like scripts and stuff, but he don't write no melodies and shit. So he came knocking on my door. He's like, let me see if this motherfucker could write something for me. And I did. I wrote a song in like 30 minutes. And I remember that was the first time I ever like wrote my own song and I loved the feeling of it. He was like super emphatic about it, and that made me feel good. And I felt like I did something, you know, because I was always failing in school and stuff. And I was always like, you know, what am I going to do in life? Like, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at science, but this was something that I was good at. So like this light clicked on in me, and I was like, man, I wrote this song. He loves it. I love it. And then the energy just kind of kept flowing from there.
Do you know what the song was about?
It was called Burbank, because we were living in Burbank at the time, right. And I don't remember some of the lyrics, but I promise you, it's terrible.
That's what every songwriter says about the very first song they wrote. They're like, "Trust me,
awful.
It's awful.
It's just awful.
It's terrible." Like, but you know, putting yourself out there must have been hard, regardless, because you know you probably just had your GED and you were just gonna go on a whim now to try to go after what you love. And you said that you had to self-teach yourself on YouTube.
Yeah.
How old when you started that self-teaching process?
I think I started producing around like 26 or 27. I basically spent a few years in the game as a songwriter, and I got so fed up with producers not listening to my ideas, and just like, you know, I was sick of looking at motherfuckers' backs. You know, when somebody's producing, they're just like all up in it and they're not listening to you. They're not really taking your ideas. And I was like, man, like, how crazy could this production shit be? Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how difficult could it really be? And so I just spent a full year on YouTube watching videos every day, learning how to produce. And within a year from that time, I was producing for Snoop Dogg on a song where he was saying my full name on the track. So for me, like, I came up in the production game really quickly, really fast. And that's all due to hard work. Like, I just never stopped with the production stuff.
Every day.
Yeah.
You were at least trying to learn something new,
I put in my 10,000 hours very quickly.
Did you invest in equipment at the same time too?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's all I was doing, was saving up money so that I could buy, you know, a new MIDI player or a new plugin or whatever it was. You know, I became obsessed with, you know, production and how people produce, because I was like, this is amazing. Like, you could just hop on your computer and make a record. Like, I didn't know any of this. So it was all new to me. And I think the fact that it was new kind of kept me like motivated and interested to keep going for it.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm actually trying to do that myself. That's why I'm like, I don't know, because I've been trying to find someone to do my sound, and everybody's doing trap around here. They're not doing that soul, blues, you know, Amy Winehouse, Erykah Badu kind of feels.
Right on.
Poetry, you know, like.
And nobody's going to get you like you. My advice is to just do you. Hop on YouTube, start learning, and within a year's time, you'll be surprised at how shitty your mixes and your song sounded a year ago compared to now.
Wow. So just do it yourself, pick it up, and don't move back.
DIY, baby.
Wow. Did you ever have moments where you had an opportunity to songwrite for someone that was big and you kind of froze because it was just, the opportunity was so grand for you?
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I think I've ruined some opportunities by just being so captivated with what everybody else was doing. Like, I had a few situations where I would be in the studio with some big artists, some big cats, and I just didn't perform at my highest level because I was trying to be somebody else, or I was trying to write how I thought somebody else wanted me to write. My success really started when I just stopped giving a fuck, to be honest with you. I was just like, this is what I would want to write. This is what I would want to hear. And that was like the breaking point, because the moment I just started talking about real shit and, like, you know, a girl not texting me back or smoking on this blunt or whatever it was that was really going on in my life, other people could relate to that and kind of, you know, put their own spin on it. And that was like the key to success for the songwriting thing for me.
Anyone that you think, someone that you've been listening to or fond of, would want to hear, it's more of like, don't accommodate for their sounds or what you've heard from them. Stay true to your own inspiration. Like
we're all humans. We all go through some of the same shit. So if you just tap into what's really going on with you, somebody will most likely be able to relate to that. Like, you're not an alien being that's going through some crazy shit that nobody else has gone through, for the most part, you know what I mean? So, like, I was just started to talk about my life and how things are really going with me, and like real lyrics and real things that are happening within my life. And then other people were like, dude, that's dope, I could totally relate to that. And I was like, word, like,
Right.
because before I was trying to like write like weird love songs and weird stuff that just wasn't even happening, you know. And I think that's like a songwriter's disease. We try to like chase the radio a little bit and try to be like other people and say some stuff that we think that, you know, Dua Lipa just said, so it's going to be cool. It's like, nah, man, like Dua Lipa was talking about, you know, a nigga that she was like, you're not allowed to come over anymore. You know what I mean? Like she wrote some rules down. She probably had them rules on her refrigerator. So like, yeah, once you start talking about some real shit, you know, other people will be able to relate to it. That's my advice on that.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I agree. Now, what song in your career, let's say you got into Warner Brothers, right? When you got into Warner Brothers music, is there like some contract or something that you have to sign?
Oh yeah. This is the funniest thing.
So
I didn't even know, like I needed a lawyer to look over my contract, and I had to, and you have to have another lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, look over that contract. So it's like very official. You pay a lot of money just to get your money. These are all things that I was unaware of. And yeah, it's a big process. But for me, man, it was like the dream. You know, I felt like I was signing to the Dallas Cowboys. Like I was just like emphatic. I was so happy to be a part of the team. So
okay, so it wasn't like, so you had to have two lawyers to read over the contract.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a very strenuous process. Like,
and there's no sign of Illuminati.
It's a lot of work, literally, just to get the contract done. Like you're literally in there for like 3 months, just negotiating the contract, seeing if you can get more money, seeing if you can get less time, this, that, and the third. So it's a very strenuous process. No comment on the Illuminati.
3 months.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, we gonna meet up that hour, and that hour we'll find our happy medium.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Wow, you're teaching me something new today. I know that there's a lot of listeners that are probably like, yeah, I had a meeting with Rock Nation and we going back and forth. Like I've had some artists to say those things. Well,
to me. Let me explain something to you. This is great. So like, because I've been signed to a major, like I got rid of all the fiction and the stories that were told to me. So nobody in the world is about to get signed. That's like the biggest lie from any artist or songwriter. Like, yeah, like Universal's looking at me, I'm about to sign this deal. Nah, nigga, you will have a contract at your door, and you will have to go find an entertainment lawyer to look over that contract, plus a real lawyer. So it's just folly. Like if somebody wants to sign you, you're gonna have a contract in your email. They're gonna be pursuing you. And a lot of people like to like say these things to like help them with like delusions of grandeur, but it's all folly. It's all fake.
No, now that you said that, you're right. Because you would receive a contract at the door.
100%.
Or in your emails, you're stating.
Yeah, yeah.
They won't even come to you in person. It'll be like, or give you a meeting.
Well, you'll get the email, and then you'll have to go inside the office and sign the big deal, and then they'll pop champagne and do that whole thing. But like, let me tell you, the champagne popping is after 3 months of treacherous negotiating and a lot of bullshit. So
that's why I'm saying, like, at this point, you being someone who signed under a label, would you say it's beneficial for an artist to be independent or to sign with a label? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's situational. For me, I wanted to get a studio, and that's something they provided for me in my contract. So they gave me this amazing studio at Jim Henson Studios, where they created the Muppets and where they do all these big movies and stuff. And I was like, you know, rubbing shoulders with Justin Bieber at the studio. This is the same studio he uses and shit. So like for me, that motivated me to be better and to do better and to work harder. So that was like an additive that I got by signing my deal. At the same time, not everybody has that to offer another artist. So there's positives and negatives to being independent. For me, like I always wanted to be part of a team. I always wanted to be like, you know, signed to a label and to kind of have like some people behind me, some people that I can see on my emails and stuff. That means a lot for me, but that's not everybody. So
right. So you have a team. You have people that come with you and that travel with you.
Big time.
and even when you do tours, have you gotten to that point where you're now
Well,
doing
I haven't really toured yet. That was one of the things, like with my artist project, it kicked off in 2019, and I just started doing all these YouTube music videos and stuff and promoting my music on Spotify and getting a following. And then the moment I had a following, I was ready to go on tour. And these motherfuckers were like, "We're shutting the world down for COVID, motherfucker. How do you feel?" And I was like, "Oh shit." So right now, I'm just kind of waiting for all these restrictions to go down, and then I'm gonna start booking shows and get a tour going for sure. Like that's my dream. I love playing live. I started on guitar and vocals. Like, you know, the production game is just like, you know, that's what I'm doing now. But for me, my roots go back to like playing live acoustic shows. So
right?
like I'm hoping to do that in the near future.
That's beautiful. I'm excited for you. Look at
Thank you.
you doing a lot of stuff,
Thank
staying
you.
busy.
Stop.
No, it's hard work, as you stated. Like a lot of people, especially this is a creative space welcome podcast, and I've had producer to producer, artist to artist, hip hopper, singer, and a lot of them are striving to be where you are at right now. A lot of them are just SoundCloud independent,
Sure.
and they have a lot of battles that they share, and it's just like the process. You know it very well. It's like you're aiming for something that you really love. You see it, you're about to grab it. You don't know it, but you're still going, and that's where a lot of these people who listen, especially on a weekly basis to this show, are in. That's why I like to like talk to them about other people's processes, to say don't give up, because this person's been there.
Yeah.
You have. It wasn't an overnight sensation situation.
At all. And that's something I really want your listeners to peep. It's like I got on this national TV show on Bravo in 2011. It's 2021, and I'm sitting here talking about my artist project and how I got signed and all this stuff. It's a 10-year journey that was not easy. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely had bills that I couldn't pay and strenuous times in my life, but I just kept believing in this dream, and I just kept working towards it. And even now, like I'm in a great place. I'm signed to Warner. You know, I've got 2 publishing companies that publish my music. I'm doing great on YouTube. I'm doing great on Spotify, but I'm not done. I'm not satisfied with me. So for me, I'm still pushing, and I'm still, you know, hopping on shows like this to get my name out there more, and to, you know what I mean? Like I'm just completely driven, and that is the secret of my success. Like, I just do not quit. I'm very passionate about this. And if anybody's going to have success, they're going to have to do the number one thing, which is don't quit. Just don't stop doing what you're doing.
And the only way to not stop is to stop caring about what everybody else around you wants to do.
Totally.
Or what you think.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
that's a hard process.
It is. The moment you kind of, you know, mute everybody else out, and you just think about like what makes me happy, and how, you know, how do I want to be remembered, and this, that, and the third, then you are free from the chains of society. You don't really have to worry about, you know, what did they think of this song, and is this their style? Like, fuck that. I've done a country album, I've done an R&B album, I've done a hip hop album, I've dropped EDM songs, pop songs. Why? Because I love all that music. I don't care if the hip hop community looks down on me for doing a country song and singing like a white boy. Like, I don't really care. I love what I'm doing. So for me, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's you become free once you really dive into yourself.
That's crazy, because I have listened to your songs, and I can see why people would say that about you.
Totally.
But it's not like it's like a bad thing. It's your sound.
Yeah, I wanted to be different. I was like, listen, I'm coming out with an artist project in 2019. There's really not that many people that have done anything different, but I found something that nobody's really willing to do, and that's completely switch genres. So for me, I was like, I'm really gonna sing this country shit. If you listen to my country album, it sounds like somebody else. And so for me, I was like, I like this idea of like, you don't know what you're getting when you click on a Nick Nittoli song. You don't know if it's going to be crazy rap bars or if it's going to be me singing, you know, R&B soulful love song. You don't know what it's going to be. And I found excitement in that. I was like, if I was a fan, I would be excited by Nick Nittoli. So here I am.
That's 100% right. You would be excited by Nick Nittoli. So you definitely agree with what T-Pain was saying.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I loved it. I loved it. Do something else.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
Like, he was just so into it. I was like,
we have that. We have Little Baby. We have Lil Peep. I loved it. I loved it.
You were probably like, hey, I'm right here. You haven't listened to me,
Truly,
but
truly, you know, and he's a big inspiration, man, because that guy was consistent, had so many hit songs, changed the game of auto tune, and then all of a sudden he just kind of got replaced. I feel like by a couple of like Future kind of took the spot of T Pain. But if you ask me, man, I'd love to listen to a T Pain record over a Future record any day. So,
and I feel like T-Pain and The Dream with production,
mm, mm,
they just have it. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
Missy Elliott too. I was like really late on her. Oh
Love it.
my god. I couldn't I was so late in the production. I have like a producer's ear. Like I love to hear the beats and like dissect what was what.
Okay.
Sometimes even go to can I find the sample? But
Right.
like it took a long time to get here, but I respect the art and I respect the time and the amount of time that it takes for it to be created in the
Sure.
studio as
Sure.
well is just like
Yeah,
that
I
within
mean,
itself.
if you're gonna do it, you have to love it. I'll tell you that right now. And for your listeners, anybody who's thinking about going into the music industry, do not do it unless you could listen to beats and fucking kick drums, kick all day long, because that has really saved me. If I didn't love this and I was just doing it to kind of make money or
Mm.
fuck bitches, like it really wouldn't be self-serving to me. But I love it. I can sit there. That's why I became a songwriter, then a producer, then a mixer, then a mastering engineer, and an artist, because I love all facets of music. And so if you're jumping into something, make sure that you love it. Otherwise, you're going to be bored and you're going to be wasting your time. And there's going to be a lot of time spent where if you don't love music, you're going to hate your job. You're going to hate your life.
So what is the end goal to Nick Nittoli? Like what is your ultimate goal as in your artistry? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, so I hit in iTunes top 40 charts in 3 different genres. I hit in metal, in hip hop, and in R&B soul. So for me, I think I'm the first motherfucker to do that. And that's kind of what drives me. I want to be the first to do something, and I really want to be remembered as something very different. Like, you know, you got Jay-Z, you got Nas, you got Eminem, but then there was this Nick Nittoli cat who was just like completely off the spectrum. You don't know what you were gonna get with him. You know, he's had hits in pop, he's had hits in EDM and rap, everything. Like I just want to kind of show how much I love music by exercising my talent in every different genre, and just be different, just be remembered for being different. That's really what it's about for me.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. I think you could definitely pull off some African vibes.
Yeah, oh,
Some
for sure.
dancehall.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna do everything. You know what I mean? I'm really gonna try to do everything, even jazz and stuff that I'm not really even that keen on, just to show that I'm different and that I'm willing to go there.
Yeah, that's very important. I love that. And I saw that you've been dropping some music. I wanted to showcase it right here live, you know, before we end the show or anything like that. But I wanted to show the audience what kind of music you do. And yeah, like I saw that you had a couple of singles that you just dropped not too
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like my project is very consistent. I've dropped, I think, the most music out of any artist in 2021 and 2020. So for me, like, because I'm a producer and because I'm a writer, it's kind of simple and quick for me to just come up with music and to put out songs. And as a fan, I've always wanted my favorite artists to come out with more than just 1 or 2 albums a year. Like I want more music as a fan. So like I'm like, for my artist project, I'm dropping songs. I'm dropping something new every week. I just dropped a
Yeah.
new music video 4 days ago. And before that, I dropped another music video a week ago. If you look on YouTube, I'm pretty consistent. Like every week, there's a new music video
No,
from
I've
me.
been seeing that. Like
Yeah,
before we even hopped on this interview, I was like, oh yeah, this man's consistent
that's right.
because last like 2 months ago you have like a thread of different videos that you dropped.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the same thing with 3 months ago. And then even like now you have a song that you just dropped a couple days ago. So I'm just like,
Yep.
okay.
It's
So late.
nonstop. It's nonstop, and it's going to keep going that way for a long time. So
So I want to know, I mean, I could showcase the song that I heard before because I heard a couple.
sure.
And I heard For the Night, which dropped
Okay,
six
right on.
days ago.
Yeah.
But I could showcase a song that's important to you that you wrote. So
Which
let me
one?
know.
What you know, girl? What you know, girl? What kind of researches did you do? What you know?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I did a little bit. I did some tabs. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yeah, like I like how clear it is, and that's one thing that's important to me. there's a lot of artists out there that drop music and it sounds very muffled and SoundCloud quality.
Sure.
I do not like engineered or produced tracks of that nature.
Of course.
What I like about yours is that it has that crisp and that clean radio sound that if tomorrow it were to be super grand, the radio wouldn't even have to touch it. It could just be,
That's right.
You know, and that's how you know you are putting effort, work. This is not just
and time. You know, even though I do it quickly and I put out a lot of music, I really do make sure it sounds radio quality before I put it out. And I'm mixing and mastering all my own music, so that's all on me too.
Really? So you produce, mix, and master?
And I wrote it, baby. Everything.
Wow. Did you like self-taught yourself how to mix and master too? Like
yeah. That's been the process for like this past year and a half. That's what I've been working on, is just getting my game up with the mixing and just, you know, same thing, watching YouTube videos and just learning and being self-taught with that as well. And, you know, collecting gear, because in order to mix and master, you got to have the right kind of gear to do it. So that's been a struggle and it's been taking time. But like I said, because I love music and because I love sound, it's not really work for me. It's fun.
Wow. That is beautiful. I am like almost you're like inspiring me. I don't think you understand that, because I've been literally holding myself back from creating my originals because I haven't found a producer to fit my sound. And I'll tell them, and then it'll sound like a whole completely different genre. I'm like, well, this is not what I thought it was.
Right.
And then I'm like, try to do it this way, and then they do another sound, and I'm like getting frustrated in the creating process.
And that's why I'm a producer, because nobody really can understand what's going on inside your own head. So my advice to you is to really take it into your own hands and to spend that time to grind, to learn production and watch these YouTube videos. Man, you can learn anything on YouTube, and to do it yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to understand it like you understand it or hear it like you hear it in your head. But the most important thing is nobody's going to work as hard as you for you than you. So
you might have to share some videos some channels.
I'll help you out. It's my pleasure.
Yes. All right, so let's go into your music so I can showcase to the audience.
Dope.
What is your favorite song that you've written this year? And I'll do that, and then I'll show them what I heard.
I really like this song that I just put out. It's called Charlie Sheen. Just because I'm like really rapping. And I've put out hip hop records before, but this one was special. This one I was like coming for their throats with the lyrics and stuff, and I start fast rapping and everything. So I really like Charlie Sheen. But I mean, it's my music. I like any song you're gonna play, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, he's like, it's my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna definitely show people what we got going on. You know what I'm saying?
We got some vocals going on, Val?
Yes, I'm a singer.
What's going on? That's half the battle right there. You could make half the beat with just some of your vocal loops.
That's what you know what's crazy? A lot of people have been saying that, and that's what I've been wanting to do. Get a loop microphone situation and just let loose from there. But it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Gotta teach myself. Can you see the screen?
I cannot.
No? Okay. Let me see. Share. There we go.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Charlie Sheen. All right, there you go.
Yeah. Walk up in this bitch and I could smell the hate. That's okay. Going down in the books as one of the greats. Crack cocaine ain't got kids in such a rush since the late 80s. But the way I spit got people sweating, now they up for days. Song replays, hear the soundtrack, that's some Josh Shark beat, but it's not San Jose. Please stay way out the shallow bay, and yes, please be afraid. I see hawks like Galloway, my shit is always popping. Yeah, it's popping like some bad acne. That's probably why they mad at me. Like I serve bars like I'm the processor of the academy, and I body rappers like I'm studying anatomy. Take these kids to school like I was really on the faculty, but it's just like that movie, I'm collecting all the casualties. Every time I show up, yeah, it blow up, reach capacity. I bring that annihilation like my name was Natalie. Battle me, I I brought Nick Nittoli, so you gonna need a cavalry or backup team. What started as a horror finally turned into a tragedy. I'll be sure to send a fucking letter to your family. Tell them that you died so unexpectedly like Brandon Lee. Fuck your mom and put your ashes right next to this mantelpiece. I told you you can't handle me. And I'm switching the flow, I'm feeling so cold, I'm really the goat, I'm doing the most, I'm really the toast of your town and your city or the school that you go to. No ghost, I write like I'm really supposed to, and I'm coming for your loved ones, fucking you close to. And I'll serve these niggas like I'm really the host to. I can bar you up, I don't gotta approach you, y'all fake as fuck, I don't gotta expose you. I'll take one shot, but I really want smoke too. I'll kill these rappers, now I'm eating the bones too, and they know my new shit really the go-to, bitch. Yeah, guess I got carried away. Don't know what's with me today. I'm on that Charlie Sheen, okay? I'm feeling like I'm Tiger on the motherfucking green away. I'm just up, my mind is crazy and it's keeping me awake. Pour some nitroglycerin on my hand, watch it eat away. So when I write my lyrics, y'all should fear it like some DMT. I'm too gone, so keep away. Don't spit, I diarrhea, babe. Coming out my mouth, so now I'm only talking shit for days. I just paint a picture, I don't give a fuck how it portrays. Anyone who challenges me, y'all must have some shit for brains. Misbehave, cause they used to sleep on me like pillowcases. I don't really play like my arms dislocated. This song was a murder and you really just participated. Started as a sacrifice, but now this shit's like immolated. Now the beats eviscerated. This what y'all anticipated. Wonder if my skeptics have all dissipated. They know that it's flames and I'm the one who gon' initiate it. I make beats like this all the time, really no special occasion. I got evil bars like this shit really was produced by Satan. Fuck you and your record station. We came up from underground like, yeah, I'm talking from the basement. So amazing. Got two bitches that are dykes. They want some more like that, so Raven. Made this disappear like we were all Malaysian, yeah. And I slash that beat like I'm Wes Craven. Now I see them haters, they like Post Malone, congratulations.
You said that's so Raven. Yeah. Okay, it was directed by you. Okay.
That's right.
He kept that silent. He said, I'm not gonna tell them that.
That's right.
That was funny. Your energy too just exudes out too of the video.
Thank
That's
you.
important. No, it's good. It's
And
good.
that's also my fiance, the big booty girl in the video. That's my fiance. She shoots all of my videos, and then I edit it and direct it, quote unquote. So we're like a two-person team just doing it.
You guys are a power couple, huh?
That's right.
That's good. That's the only way to do it.
That's right.
This one actually we got him
All
excited.
about the money, yeah, she see them dollar signs. Rap bottom shirts, baby, I know what you like. I already know your type. But I don't even care, I just want you for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night. I don't even care, I don't even like your type. I'm just tryna fuck, girl, I want you for the night. Tryna catch a lean, mix the codeine with the Sprite. Shorty pop a bean, now she tryna catch my vibe. Want me for my eyes, she just want me for this life. Looking at my wrist go blind, all she see is dollar signs, yeah. Now I new to the game, bitch. Now I know you a lame chick. Shoulda known what was up, but now I know that you just all about the money, yeah, she see them dollar signs. Rap bottom shoes, baby, I know what you like. I already know your type. But I don't even care, I just want you for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night, just for the night. Just for the night, just for the night. I don't even trip, I'm not tryna be your man. I'm just tryna fuck, girl, and don't you understand? I'm just tryna make something purple with the fan. I'm just tryna flirt, so I spend a couple bands. Want me for my eyes, she just want me for this life. Looking at my wrist go blind, yeah, I know she see them signs, Now she know that I blew racks, now she know that I do that. She ain't going away, now she know that I stay. All about the money, yeah, she see them dollar signs. Rap bottom shoes, baby, I know what you like. I already know your type. But I don't even care, I just want you for the night, just 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 for the night.
That's what's up. Look at you.
Yeah, so like with the video thing, I could have paid somebody to do my first video and to hope they got my vision. But I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna spend $3,000 to $5,000 to pay somebody else to hope that they get my vibe and my colors and my swag and stuff. Or I could just buy a camera and start doing it myself. And that's exactly what I did. And if you look at videos from 2 years ago, they look nothing like the videos from today. Like they're much more professional. I'm much more proud of them, but I kind of had to go through that little awkward spot the same way I did with my songwriting, the same way I had to do with my production, my mixing. And now I'm at a level where I can shoot professional videos and other motherfuckers could pay me to shoot their videos. But
So
that all
now you
came
got
from just
videography.
like, it all came from just like believing in myself and just working hard to get better at something, which is the story of my career.
So let's walk down through a day to day task for this. You know, like
It's all
walk
shot
us
in
through.
one,
You know,
yeah, it's all shot in one day, literally, 4 to 5 shots, and then I just start editing it. The song's usually around 3 minutes, so we're probably done within an hour, 2 hours. That Charlie Sheen video was shot within 1 hour. We just went, we found a location, we went into the room, matched the purple and stuff. I had my girl dress up and do her thing. And then, she shot me for like 30 minutes and then I shot her for 30 minutes. And then I just threw it into Final Cut Pro and just start chopping it up and editing it.
right?
And the more that you do something, the better you become at it. That's anything in life. And with the editing process, like I've just learned like what looks cool, what kind of, I model it obviously after other music videos that I've seen. But for the most part, it's just my eye, like what I want to see, what I think looks cool. And it all goes back to just believing in yourself and working hard.
Yeah, but like that's not even including. So it took you an hour to do that, and then probably like 2 hours to edit.
Yeah, the editing process is always like 2 to 3 hours minimum.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours, and then sometime in between that, you have to make time for songwriting. Sometime in between that, you'd have to make time for producing
and mixing and mastering. It's a full-time job.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a good like more than 9 hours right there.
Yeah, sure.
And that's every single week.
Yeah. That's every day, to be honest with you.
I was being very curious.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that pressure to you, but that's what I'm saying. So every single day you wake up and you are determined to drop and release or make or at least build for the next project, for the next.
Yeah. I'm literally in the process of editing 3 more videos right now. So like when we hop off this call, I'm probably gonna hop back into Final Cut Pro and start chopping it up and getting ready for another one. The songwriting and the production stuff really takes me the least amount of time just because I've done it so long and I kind of know what I want to say. I know how I want it to sound. But the mixing and mastering takes weeks sometimes. It really takes a long time to really get the mix sounding radio ready. And then after that point, we have the song. And I do 15 to 20 songs at a time. So then we can just shoot a bunch of music videos for these songs that I've already done and then hop in the editing process and put it out. And then promoting it takes time too, sending it to, people like yourself and bloggers and radio promo and stuff like that. And that hustle is like a whole nother, avenue that I do.
Right. Do you
all
also
my own
have
as well.
PR included in your stuff, or that's a part of your?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing with signing to a label, like I have, like my label really doesn't do that kind of footwork for me. It's really on me to kind of push my own stuff, and they're just kind of there to like look at the results of everything and pay a motherfucker for it. So that it's really on me. A lot of it's just on me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I respect that. Now, before we leave, is there any final concerns or advice that you want to give out to an aspiring artist who's
I mean, I just kind of want to hammer down on the do-it-yourself thing. I mean, nobody's going to work as hard for you than you. And if you stay at anything for a long enough period of time, you will have success for it. The only people that I know in this business that don't have success are the people that stop doing it and they started, working at a gym or something. They stopped believing in their dream. For me, like the people that I know that are in the game that have had success, they came in with me in 2011 and they've been here for 10 years and now they're winning Grammys or they're winning awards or this, that, and the third. So just believe in yourself, stay at it, keep working at it, and make sure that you love what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be work. For me, it's just fun and play. I do have a new album dropping at the end of this month called Self Untitled. It's going to be 20 songs. It's all going to be mix and match, pop, EDM, hip hop. It's all included in one album. And I'm dropping a new music video, I'd say within the next 2 to 3 days. So look out for that. Everything is at Nick Nittoli, NickNittoli. I'm on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you name it. I'm on there.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on to this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, anytime. Like, I'm so grateful. I know that you're going to be very, very major one day.
Oh, thank you.
I've heard your music. I respect it. And you guys already know, follow Nick Nittoli, support his music. Spotify, is it on SoundCloud or?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
As well, everywhere. So you guys already know there's no excuses. Okay. I'll catch you guys on another episode of Reflections. Stay tuned and also follow Reflections with Val on Instagram and Soulfully _ Val on Instagram and everything. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.